The last class we are discussing about the instance of operator. The instance of operator. So this instance of is a keyword, but Java classifies this as a operator. It's a keyword. Java classifies this as operator. If you see long back, it's a keyword. Understood? And if you remember, in the Java language, it has been classified as operators. It has been classified as operators. Plus, it is a keyword. Understood? Two things now. You have seen this document long back. Okay. So let's see how it is related to keywords. You can see it comes here, instance of. It comes under the miscellaneous category. It's a keyword. Plus, it is also termed as what? Operators. Yeah. You know there are many operators. There are 7 types of operators. Among that 7 operators, one is the instance of operator. So we are going to see this today. It's a keyword come operator. Understood? So now clearly what we'll start seeing this, what it is now. So instance of is a keyword in Java, first of all. Now next line I go on to say what? It's a, one second. Yeah, so just I shifted on point, nothing else. So instance of operator, it's a keyword in Java. The instance of operator is also known as what? Type comparison operator. It's also known as type comparison operator because it's a compares an object with the data type. These points you'll start understanding now one by one. Understood? So what you do is you can write all this. Okay. And anyway, I'm going to give you all notes, means examples related to these points only now. Okay. So there are many points. You can write it off first. Okay. And I'll be then going with example itself. These are a few points which I got related with what? Instance of operator. Clear this? Got all the points now? I'll be explaining you all this. See, it starts off from here. Write all this first because when you're writing notes now, if you write this and then if you write the examples, it will become more clearer to you. Then is this. That's it. So there is a points. So you write it down. Okay. Then next, I'll start off with examples. Are you clear this? Then I'll go on explaining to you. So initially, see, first class A, I'm having one M1 method. A very simple method I'm having. SOP inside A. M1. See, this is extensively used before you typecast. Before you cast, no, that is the place where you use this extensively. But to show the practical usage, I have to show some basic examples. Then I'll go to the practical example. Understood? See, there's a class called as A. So generally we use this. We use this for one main reason. See this. PSVM. I'll say AA is equal to new A. So here you also can use this. A instance of A. I'm using the operator. So you're using this variable to check it is referring to an object of which type. It is referring to which object type. Means A is referring to which object type, or other way of telling is A is referring to which object type. That's what we want to check. A is referring to an object, no, it is referring to which object type. So that's why we check A instance of A. You can use it with the same class also, no issue. And if I print SOP, if you want you can print thing. This if condition gets executed. A is referring to, you can put any SOP, A object. Understood? So like this also you can use. Okay, but generally you will not be using it to check whether it is referring to the same object type. We actually check it in the hierarchy. We will be checking this in hierarchy. Let's see another example for this. Is a very simple usage. Now say this. This is where it becomes very interesting. Class B will extends A. So here I am having void M2. And now it becomes interesting now. SOP inside B M2. You know why you write a subclass now? Okay, for adding members and all that. Okay, fine. Now see. AA is equal to new B, I'll say. Now things will go wrong. Means again one class that much clearly you'll not understand. When there are many classes you'll understand. Okay, but just let's understand how you work with one superclass and one subclass. So here what happens, A is referring to which object now? B object. So now I can check if A instance of B, now I'll typecast. Directly also you can typecast. Directly also you can typecast. But generally the habit is before we typecast, we check like this and then typecast. Okay, I think one second. Let this remain. We'll take the second case now. We'll classify this as case 1, we'll classify this as case 2. A is equal to new B. Now see, A. Directly I can typecast A to B. You know why you do typecasting now? Why do you do typecasting? One main reason. To access subclass members. So I'm doing typecasting. But before you do this, it's always a better practice to check whether it is referring to that particular object type or not. You have to check whether this variable is referring to B object or not, and then typecast. That's the common approach what we take. So we check now. To check whether it is referring to B object or not, we use instance of operator. If A is instance of B, now what I'll do? Then I'll typecast A to B. And you know only reason why you're typecasting is to access the subclass members. B dot M1 also I can call, B dot M2 also I can call. You know typecasting, like this it goes. Here also you'll be thinking what is so big thing about it. But it really becomes important when you're having too many classes in the hierarchy. Okay, when you're having too many classes, see this. Class C extends A now again. Now why is class C extending here? You know why we go for hierarchical now? See, always you go like this for inheritance. Sometimes you go multi-level. Sometimes you go as this. Okay, now why do you go as this? Scenario will be very simple. Now class A is there, it is having one method. Okay, now B class wants that method plus extra method. So that's why what did it do? B extended A. Now class C is not decided to extend B, it decided to extend A. Why? It does not need the logic present in B, but it needs the logic present in A plus extra logic. That's when you start going for hierarchical inheritance. So class C extends what now? A. You understood the reason why you are going with hierarchical now? Similarly, class D also will require what? Then not the value of properties of B and C, but it needs the properties of A. So it will inherit A and then add the extra members. So that's how the hierarchical goes on building now, and you can add extra members. Void M3 SOP inside CM3. Like this it goes on. You can go with one more class. What? Class D extends again A. And you can have one method void M4. So done. So now let us look at the third case. See, this is the first case what you saw. This is the second case what you saw. Third case what you'll be seeing is now, okay, where there are many classes. Let's see this now. So the third case what you'll be seeing is, now see this. A is equal to new B. This is the third case. So now which object is getting created now? Which object is getting created now? B object is getting created. And what are the members of B? Members of A, which is M1, and members of B, which is M2. So one way is you can directly typecast. How do you typecast? BB is equal to B of A. You will typecast it directly. BB is equal to B of A. You are typecasting it. Perfectly it works, and I can call what? B dot M1, B dot M2. You can work. Why do you typecasting? You know, because with A I can call only what? M1 method. I cannot call M2 method. So that's the reason you have to call M2 method. You can typecast, and B will refer to which one now? This one, and you can access both the members. Correct now? If you typecast, both are referring to what? Same object. So this is perfect. So here you don't have any difficulty. But always you should not typecast like this blindly. That's a wrong approach. Okay, directly you can typecast provided you know 100% which one A is referring to B object. But many times in programs you will not be knowing whether the superclass is referring to which subclass object. Many times in programs it happens. The superclass is referring to which subclass object, you will never know. Here you will know because I am writing the code directly, and it's a PSVM program. In simple programs you will be doing this. But in big programs, what happens? We'll never know your variable will be referring to which subclass object. So directly you can't typecast like this, because see, you know why you are creating the object like this. You know, if you want to work with subclass object, sometimes we'll be using superclass variable. Why will we be using superclass variable? Decoupling, because tomorrow I want to change the implementations. That will be your idea. Now by chance, if I change this to C, what happens? I am changing this to C object. Which object is getting created now? C object. See this. So when the C object gets created, what are the members? A member and C member, which is M3 method. You can see here that there is a difference now. Now I can call M1, A dot M1 I can call, but I cannot call M3. Fine, I cannot call M3. Okay, but if I try to change the code now, means if the same code if I try to run, what will happen now? A cannot be casted to B now. How will B refer to C object? B never can refer to C object. How will B refer to this? If I try to refer also, see actually this earlier you had created A object. Sorry, earlier you had created B object, but now you have created C object. So C object is having members of A and C. B object was having members of A and B. Now C cannot, means B cannot refer to this. You understood the problem now? Understood. This formula is always true. A is equal to nu B is always true when B is a subclass of A. But here C is not subclass of B. Yes or no? It becomes hierarchical. Is B subclass of C? No. So that is when the problem starts off. So here this will not work and you will get error. You will get error. Okay, during runtime you will start getting the error now. Okay, cannot class cast exception, something like that you will start getting. Okay, so due to that what you do, before you cast, it's always advisable to cast like this. If A instance of B, then you typecast it to B. Understood? Else if A instance of C, typecast it to, sorry, I have to write typecasting code now. If A instance of B, typecast it to B and call the members. If A instance of C, typecast it to C and then call C members. Superclass plus subclass. Else if A instance of D, SOP, sorry, typecast, no? D is equal to D of A dot M1, A dot M4. Perfectly it works. Brilliantly it works. You don't have any problem only. You can decouple now. Okay. When you decouple, which condition is true, that will get executed. Understood? Which condition is true now? See, one is I showed you with a simple class. The second example, second case what I given is with only one subclass. So here it looks okay. Here it makes more meaningful. Here it makes still more meaningful. Okay, again I start applying it practically, then you'll start getting better ideas. These are simple examples of how to use instance of operator. These are very simple examples. Gradually, but the concept if you get, now we can write bigger programs on this. Are you clear with this now? Okay, so fine. Now one more thing. So like this we typecast this. Now one more thing. See this. Here all this is okay. Let me put it here now. See, this is an operator now. Yes or no? Okay, it's an operator. Generally, how do you write an operator? See this. Int A is equal to 10. Int B is equal to 2. Int C is equal to A plus B. So what is plus? Arithmetic operator. Understood? The result of the arithmetic operator I am storing in C. Yes or no? The result. So always generally operators form an expression. Generally what happens? Operators generate an expression and this expression is called as what expression now? Arithmetic expression, and the result of arithmetic expression is always numerical value. Similarly, if by chance, okay, if I use A greater than B, what is this operator? Arithmetic operator. Sorry, logical operator. Not logical, relational operator. Okay, this is arithmetic operator, this is relational operator. Arithmetic operator result is numeric type. Relational operator result is Boolean type. Correct? Sorry, Boolean C I take. Are you clear this? Yes. Now what is the result of instance of operator? Correct? No, it also forms one. It is an operator, means it forms what? Expression. So let us see what is the result of instance of. Can you guess what is the result of instance of operator? Boolean. It's valid. This is one more simple example to make you understand. What you do now, say, just write, here you take this formula now. AA is equal to, okay, here I'll write. Yeah, here you take now. See here, AA is equal to new B, provided B is a subclass of A. Boolean B is equal to A instance of what? B. A space man. Boolean B is equal to A instance of B. Can you guess the answer? Boolean it is. And SOP will print what you know. SOP B you print. Value of B is. Will print you true. Same thing is happening here. Everywhere Boolean. If it is true, it will execute that. See here. If by chance if I say AA is equal to new C, okay, A instance of B is what? False. A instance of C is what? True. The result of instance of operator is Boolean. Understood now? The result of instance of operator is always Boolean. Are you clear with all this? Are you clear with all this? Okay. You can change it to D also. Now type that time which your condition will get executed, D now will get. Are you clear? Okay. Now one more thing. When you are, so this is one point what you have to understand now. The result of plus operator, arithmetic operator is numerical value. The result of relational operator is Boolean value. Same way the result of instance of operator is also Boolean. Clear? I can store it. But here instead of storing, directly I started using it. If A instance of B, A instance of C, A instance of D, like that, directly you can start using. Clear? Then next, a few more things. Yeah, when you use instance of operator, it's mandatory that this should be a subclass of what? This one. Means the class what you are using on the right side should be a subclass of the variable used on the left side. It should be related. Otherwise it will not work. A compilation error you'll start getting. You'll start getting the compilation error itself. By chance if I write here, if A instance of box and A are not related, example. So you'll start getting what? Compilation error. It cannot be casted only. Where's the question of checking now? Simply why that problem should be reported at compilation time. So that is why it will give. When A and B are not related, how can A refer to box object? It is impossible. So this condition will never execute only. So simply why should that problem be reported at runtime? They detect it at compilation time itself. So whenever you use instance of operator, the class means here what class name you are using, that should be a subclass of this one. So that's what we say. Generally for using instance of operator, we should pass the it should pass the instant is a relation. For using instance of operator, it should pass what? Is a relation. Only when it passes the is a relation, then only you can use instance of operator. Means you can't use instance of operator between two classes. You can't use instance of operator between two classes when they are not having is a relation. When they are not having is a relation, you cannot use it. Understood? Are you clear with this? When they are not having is a relation, you cannot use the instance of operator. Like example is, one class is box, one class is hello. Example, good example. Okay, box and hello are not related only. So now you cannot write instance of between them. Understood? So it can be used only with related classes in hierarchy, inheritance. Clear with all these points now? That's all about instance of operator. I just have to show you now with coding now. Are you clear? And last thing, one more thing. By chance, see here, if here I'll take, we'll comment this first line. I'll write AA is equal to null. What is the value of A now? It is referring to which object? No object, null. Now if I use instance of, what is the result? The result of that is false. It's an operator. This is one thing you should be very clear in SCJP. Okay, AA is equal to null. See this. Right now this condition is what? Okay, let me make it here otherwise. 1 second. AA is equal to what I'll say? A instance of B, what it was? true. Here you understand, you understand very clearly. A is equal to null, I'll tell. Understood? Null. A instance of B. A is not referring to B object now. Very simple. So what is the value stored in B now? False. That's it. Very simple. So if it is referring to null, you will get the result as false. You will use one variable now to check whether it is referring to which type of object. But if that variable is referring to null, means you will get the result as false. That's it. Here you will understand. Don't go there. Just see this very simple program. A is equal to null means, because here also it is the same. If I say A is equal to new null, A is equal to null, here also what happens? Now you apply here. Once you understand that basic, you apply it here. And now I am telling A is equal to null. Now see, if A instance of B, it is not an instance now, it is not referring to B object. So what is the result? False. So there I am putting a simple SOP and showing, but here it will be evaluated to false. This condition will not execute. That's it. This particular condition will not get executed. This is very, very important from SEJP point of view. Yeah? Are you clear with all the points now? Are you clear with all the points? Should I clear this? We'll see it with coding now. Understood? Very simple instance of operator. You will go on using it extensively. But just remember, before you typecast, use it. You are going to typecast. I'm not saying no. You are going to do what you know, casting. You will definitely do casting of reference variables. Why do you do it? To access subclass method. Definitely will do it. But before casting, please see to that you use instance of operator and then cast. That's it. Clear? So these are some few examples to give a demo on instance of operator. End of the day, this is the main way you will be using. But I'll show you more good examples. Still more I'll give. Shall I clear all this now? Shall I clear? So instance of demo, you can name the class name, and you can create one more folder now. Okay, instance of demo.java. For this, what you do? First, you start off with a very simple class. Very simple class. I take only one class, class A. That's it. And I'll have only void M1 method. First we'll work with one single class. Go step by step, always you go step by step. More step by step you go, more organized, more clear the doubts will become. Inside a M1 you can print. Done, this is done now. Understood? So once it is done, next what will I do? I'll check it. Now what will I check? You can use instance of here also. There is no issue. Okay, I'll just say AA is equal to new A, and now I'll use if A instance of, see it's a keyword, it comes out in blue color, keyword, understood? Plus it's a operator, it's called as a comparison operator, it is also called as comparison operator, it compares. Okay, instance of B, sorry, A instance of A, I can print on SOP here. A refers to, A is referring to A object. A is referring to A object. Put any SOP like this and you can compile and run the program. Now no need to typecast here, directly you can access all the members from here. Here why do you need typecasting? Here not required, but it is used to check whether it is of a particular class type also. Particular class type also. Understood? And if you want more things, we can see with what? we'll see with that result. Okay, see this boolean B is equal to A instance of B, valid 100, sorry, A instance of A, sorry, we are going with single class, sorry, A instance of A. Now see this, value of A is, sorry, value of B is, sorry, value of B is plus B, yes. I'll, anyway, this will not, yeah, both will be true now. See, value of B is true, here it is true. Since B is true here, same logic is applied here. If true, this condition gets executed. If true, the condition gets executed. Very simple programs you see first. Are you understanding now? You are getting it now. First, what is that? See this, value of B is true. Same way, same logic I have written here in bracket, that's all. So it becomes true. Okay, this you know now. But now we'll do this. Which one? A is equal to null. What will happen now? If condition will not execute, this will not execute because it is false. It's not an instance, it's not referring to a object. Is it, you are checking A instance of A? No. So obviously it is false. So this will print, but this will become what? It will not execute. If you want to put an else statement, else will get executed. You can't print that. A is not referring to, I'll write. Not referring to, not some, referring to, simply to just highlight. The plus one gets executed, check out. Understood? So that will be false. Value of boolean B is false. Understood? That's it. Are you clear with this? I'll change this name to Z because we'll need this variable name. Value of Z is done. So value of Z will be what now? False. Any questions here? And else condition is getting executed, not if. So this is a very simple program. Now, if you understand this one thing, now the same will be applied to what in hierarchy now? Class B extends A. Valid, void M2. Just make it bigger now. Slowly you can start making your program bigger. BM2. See now, A is equal to, now this time very interesting. This time which object I'll create? A is equal to new B. I can typecast directly, but I should not do it. Okay. And first we'll use this operator here. Can you guess what is the result? What is the result of this? True. The same condition will be applied here. And if condition gets executed, not else. Getting it? Value of Z is true. Value of Z is true, and A is it's an instance of B. That's why this condition gets executed. Clear? Okay. Now one more thing you see here. A is equal to, this will not extend. They are not related now. Understood? They are not related. Related means everything will go wrong here. Unrelated class, you cannot use instance of. First of all, you cannot create objects like this. First of all, you cannot create A is equal to new B only now. So when you create, you cannot create, here only you will get error. Here it is far off. Code will never reach there only. So, but you cannot use instance with unrelated classes. You should always use it with related classes. And that too, which the classes which are related with is a relation. Understood? Are you clear with this? This will give me error. Let us say this. See, here also you are getting the error. A instance of B. This error you leave. A incompatible type. That you know. But at the same time you are getting A instance of B also is error. You cannot use this operator here now. Understood? Because B and A are not related. Compiler can detect A class and B class are not related. Because when it compiles now, it will be knowing all that. Which class is superclass, which it will be having a clear idea. Understood? Because you know, because it has idea only in the subclasses what are added. super is added. So compiler can detect all the things. When it compiles, it will be checking all the classes, the relation, or it will check. And if they are related, if you have not written super, it will add the default super, all that it will do. No, default super is added at runtime, no? Sorry. Anyway, but the compiler will be checking all this. Sorry, this default super is added at runtime. So anyway, it checks all this, the compiler, and if it finds they are not compatible, it gives you the error at compilation time itself. So this is an error now. Clear this? Okay. So fine, let's continue now. So we will make extends only. So next, we can write one more class now. Which one? Class C extends A. You can continue now. How many ever hierarchies you want, you can go on doing. But why is class C extending A? Technically, you know that, na? So first you should know how to write subclasses. You should know how to write subclasses. Means whether you go for multi-level, hierarchical, that you should be clear first. Okay. Once you write the classes, then you should know how to use your subclass data type. How to use it, that is secondary. How to use it, same class means subclass variable, subclass object. Otherwise, superclass variable, subclass object. If you use superclass to subclass object, why? For the purpose of decoupling you will be doing it. Later on, if you want to access the subclass member, that time you will cast the superclass variable to subclass type. But before casting, that is when you use instance of operator. Very simple story. Understood? So writing is one side, using it is another side. Writing the subclass data types also you should know. Using it also you should know now. And we are almost all done now. You know how to use everything now. Understood? We are almost all done. If you want, you can go for more classes. Which one? Class D. Class D extends A. Yeah, so like this it goes on. You can have M4 method here inside. Okay, here I didn't change. Inside C, M3, inside D, M4, like this it goes on. Now see this, A is equal to new B. So first I'll show you the problem. First I'll show you, because if you don't use instance of operator, now start seeing the problems. You try to type cache now. B is equal to done, and B dot M1, B dot M2. If you don't use, see what happens. So here, see, the only reason what I am trying to do is, and you can here the address will be same. Both will be referring to the same object. Address will be same, but only difference is one object has been created here. That is, you can call only now superclass method. You can't access subclass member. So that's why I am typecasting. When I typecast, you can call both the methods. But when I typecast, you can notice that both are referring to the same object. Clear this now? So see this, perfect it is. You know all this, typecasting you know very well. Both the addresses are same. But with A you can call only one object. You can see both are referring to the same object. But before you typecast, it's always advisable, see, because tomorrow I might change this. Now what happens? I made it to C. It will compile. Because it's in the same hierarchy, it will compile. Understood? Because they are related, it is passing now. Understood? A is related with B, it will pass. But during runtime, JVM sees it is referring to what? C object. And now class cast exception will occur. It cannot cast. It is calling M1 method. It is printing the address of C. But when it comes here, see, JVM went on executing. It executed this, but it tried to do this, it failed. And program got terminated. Anyway, program got terminated means this is called as exception. There is one more subject called as exception handling, which I will be covering later, which I will teach. But here an exception occurs called as class cast exception. Understood? Class cast exception will occur. So are you clear this? So that's why it is advisable to do what now? Casting. by using instance of operator, because anybody can change anything here. Now you will change full code, you will change, but tomorrow somebody will make this as what? D, or they can bring it back to B, we don't know. So simply, why do you want to struggle like this? Better what you do now, better what you do now, you can start writing like this now. A is equal to new D, no? Yeah. So instead of writing your code like this, are you clear with this problem now? Are you clear with the problem now? So now what you do, so instead of doing this, you start writing like this now. I'll just comment all this. Don't typecast it directly. Instead you start else if. Now don't use else if you have to use. You know the difference between if, else if, else. I've covered control statements, you can check that. And now here A is referring to B object, you can typecast now. Here you start typecasting. See this. Valid now, it looks much elegant now. Else if A is referring to which object now? C object. I'll typecast it to C and I'll call C members. But I have to call M3 method, not M2. Now I continue with D. This is much better now. See how your problems are resolved now. If A instance of D, A is referring to D object, D, value of D is plus D dot M1, D dot M4. Else, last you can write on else, okay, is not referring to any object. Correct now? So let's say all the conditions I'll execute now. I commented everything now, so just leave all that. Yes. Now check out now. A is equal to new B else. So let's see which one gets executed. So the B condition gets executed. Value of B is understood. A is equal to new C. Which condition gets executed? C condition. Understood. Now A is equal to new D. Which one gets executed? D condition. In DM4, your typecasting and it executes. If I say A is equal to what? How to execute else condition now? All the else if. Now null else condition. See, till now else if conditions we are getting, if and else if. But now which condition executes? Else condition. All failed. False, false, false. Last condition gets executed. Clear? Clear this. Any questions? Now this is the document now. You can refer. All clear points you'll get now. Clear instance of operator now? Yeah, what is instance of operator now? Let's start seeing. So I covered all the points now. Just see this. Instance of is keyword in Java. It's a keyword in Java. Next point. The instance of operator is also known as type comparison operator because it compares an object with the data type. It will be comparing the object type and the data type. Object type, data type means what? Class, subclass and all that. Okay, now see here, more clear. The explanation for second point is here. The instance of operator is used to, see, if you have not understood the second point, then refer to the third point. More clear it becomes. The instance of operator is used to test whether the object is an instance of the specified data type. Yes or no? Whether the object is of the specified data type. Means whether it's of class type, subclass type or interface. Interface also is there. I'll be covering later. Leave it. Because I've covered these two now. Class and subclass. Now see this. Again, still more clear definition or understanding. You can use it to test if an object is an instance of a class, an instance of a subclass. I showed you both. Instance of class also I showed you. That is AA is equal to new A. Instance of a subclass also I showed you. AA is equal to new B. Interface I'll show you later. Or in class that implements a particular interface. This I'll show you later. Clear? The next point. The instance of operator provides information of an object during runtime. During runtime it will find out and let you know when the program is running. Okay, when you compile you will not know your variable will refer to which object. Because objects are not created at compilation time. Objects are always created at runtime. Object means what? Memory coming into existence. Will memory be allocated during compilation time? No, it is always allocated at runtime. Okay, next. It returns either true or false value. Correct? It returns either true or false value. Okay, next. Instance of operator can be used only when the classes are in same hierarchy or related with is a relation. Understood? Next point. Instance of operator cannot, understand, cannot, here can, here cannot be used when the classes are in different hierarchy or are not related. Okay, so then next. Okay, this is very important now. So instance of operator can be used only if the class used on the right side of the operator. See here, this is the operator, which is this is the right side, this is left side. Correct? Check. It can be used only if the class used on the right side of the operator passes the ISR test for the class used on the left side of the operator. Understood? Left side of operator is which one? This is operator, man. Instance of is the operator. Means this is left side, that is right side. You say no, A greater than B. This is left side, this is same way, right side. This center one is a operator. So same way. So if the class used on the right side of the operator passes the ISR test for the class used on the left side of the operator. Means dog is an animal. Correct? The explanation I have given you is here. Class dog extends animal. And now I have created an object. Animal is equal to new dog. And I am checking if animal instance of dog. Then I will typecast. Understood? Here I give still more clear explanation. Here class dog used on the right side of the instance of operator passes the ISR test with the class animal used on the left side of the operator. So understood this point? All this they are related. They make a single point. Understood now? Clear this? Yes. Then next. If you apply instance of operator with any, we'll remove this. If you apply the instance of operator with any variable that has null value, it returns false. This is very important from SCJP point of view. Understood? Then finally, it is always a better practice to use instance of operator before you downcast a superclass reference variable to a subclass type. So end of which one? Instance of operator. Yeah? Any questions? Any questions, sir? No? Fine. Now put the next heading as a very simple heading. Write it later. See, generally, as I was telling you yesterday or in the last class, what I was telling you? When anybody asks you the output of main method, you should not jump and look into main method. You will never predict the output. Understood? Because whenever anybody asks the output, you have a tendency of jumping into what? Main and see what is the output. You cannot predict. Because main will be using so many data types. Main program will go on using what? So many data types. So before you look into main, you have to look at all the data types available first. Primitive you will be knowing. All the primitives you know. Which one? Byte, float, short, anything you will know. That's not a problem for you. Understood? But all the user defined data types you should see first. So before looking into them, means that's what I am telling you in SCJP exam also. Do not look into what? Main program. First look at all the different classes which are used in the main program. Data types. Then you predict the output. What do I mean by that? Okay, it's very simple. See this. You have to identify what? Number of classes. Name of the classes. And what? Relation. Number you have to identify. How many classes are there? Name of the classes. Because only if you know the name of the class, you'll use there, no? Otherwise, how will you use? Then what? Relation. Are they related or not? Is a relation, has a relation? All that you have to check. Correct? So then next, you have to identify what? The members of the superclass. If they are related. If they are related, now you see the members of superclass. Why will you first see the superclass? Because if you know the members of superclass, then only you will understand whether the method is overridden, overloaded, or new method in subclass. So first check the members of superclass. Now how do you check the members of superclass now? That's the next thing. So you have to identify the number of variables. So you will be having variables now. Understood? Like we'll take this example here. Now I'll tell you here. See, class box int WHD, there's one constructor. Only look at the members, do not look at the logic. Void volume, okay, void M1 method and one int volume method. I'll have one more class, box weight extends box. Then I can have int M, I can have one constructor, int W, int H, int D, int M. Then I can have M1 method only, overridden method, like this. Understood? I can have members like this. So when you look at the members now, see, you are identifying number of classes. How many classes are there? 2 classes. What is the name of the class? One class name is box, other class name is box weight. Relation, box weight is a subclass of box. Like that you have to identify. Understood? So next, how do you identify? Next step is immediately identify the member of superclass. So what are you telling? Number of variables. Means how many variables are there? 3. Name of the variables, W, H and D. Only when you know the name you can work with them now. If you don't know the name, how will you call now? B dot, what will you call? So to work with your data types, this is very important. Understood? So writing data type is not important. Using the data type becomes very important. To use the data type, you should know, follow all these steps now. Understood? Writing data type, why am I stressing on this point is, because right now we are writing class, you will be knowing, oh I know my members, I can work. But later on what will happen? We work with libraries. Later on you will be working with somebody's class. When you are working with somebody's class, how will you work with this class now? So that's why these steps become very important. Identify what you have to identify? Variables. How many variables are there? In superclass? 3. What is the name? WH and D. Type. Type means what? Int. Because one can be int, one can be float. Depending on the type you can work. One can be user defined type. In class box I can have a variable of type hello H now. Example I am telling. So hello, I will write test T. H has been used there. Int WH and D I have used. Just I'll change it to what? Int WHD test T. So you should know all the type. See, number, name and data type. That you should know. Then also you have to identify what? Static and instance. Because if it is static you have to work in one way. If it is instance you have to work in another way. Understood? Next point what you have to understand. Identify the blocks. Are there blocks? If there is a block, whether it is instance block or static block. That you have to see. Then you have to identify what? Number of constructors. How many constructors are there? Understood? Because to create object you are having multiple options now. You can call constructor with 1 parameter, 2 parameter, 3 parameters. Understood? And once you know identify the number of constructors and the parameters, here in parameters what you should carefully observe? Number of parameter, data type of parameter and order of parameter. Why? If you don't observe this, how will you create an object by calling the constructor? How will you create the object by calling the constructor? All this you have to observe. So till now you were writing the class, you are happy about it. But gradually we will start working with third party classes. So that is when it becomes very crucial. Understood? Next point, you have to identify the number of methods. How many methods are there? See, there are 2 methods. Understood? After identifying the number of methods, then you have to identify the name, M1, volume. Understood? Now you have to identify the return type. Why? Because when you call the method, you will get on value. If you want to accept the value, your accepting value and the return type should be same now. What you accept and what you return should both match. All this becomes important. Method, name, return type and signature. Because how will you call the method? To call the method you should know the signature, no? Means number of parameter, name of parameter, type of parameter. So if you observe all this only, then only you can work with the data type. Understood? Next, Then you have to identify static and instance methods also. So all this if you observe only, then only you can call a method. Simply can you call a method, see this int a, int b is there for m1. How will I call this? And return type is double. Example I am telling. Now you will write in main now, box b is equal to new box, b dot m1. To call m1 you have to send 2 int. Return type you have to accept is double. So writing data type is not important, using data type is important. Understood? So always you should know how to use your data types. Are you clear with this? Then next, lastly what will you follow now? Follow the same rules for the subclass also. Means in subclass you have to come now. Box weight was extending box now. Same rules you have to follow. How many variables are there? How many constructors are there? How many blocks are there? How many methods are there? Return type, name, parameter, all that you have to check. Only then you can work with your data types. Very simple rules. So the basics of object-oriented programming forms what? Members. In your data type you will have members. In C++ also you have to do the same thing. Understood? If you follow this in C++, till now what I have taught you, you can write a C++ program comfortably now. There is no issue. Just 2 more classes. If I complete abstract class now, go and check out now. You can easily program in C++ also, because C++ has only one more extra data type. Which one? Abstract class. That's it. We are almost all done. And we have done it at a fast level only. So fast we have completed what? Java without C++. That's it. Same topics will come out there. Why do you write a subclass? Why do you write a class? Same topics. So you understanding now how to identify. So writing a class and subclass is not important. You will write. You know how to write. There's no problem with that. But you don't know how to work with it. That is what I have been teaching you all this while. Understood? First I showed you how to write a class. Just follow. Flashback you go now. First I showed you how to write a class. Then I showed you how to use a class. How to use a class means how to create object, how to access members, how to send arguments. All that we saw. Means how to access the members, how to call, means how to use user defined data type as arguments. All that we saw. Means in class what all we saw? How to work. Creating object, accessing members, sending the object as an argument. All that we saw with the class. Next we saw how to work with subclass. Writing subclass is easy. You know how to write a subclass now. What? Extra members you will add, extra constructor you will add, override, overload or extra method you will add. That is secondary. But now using the subclass is very important. Understood? So using it is very important. To use it, all these are the basic things. Are you clear with all this? Okay. So still I continue to show you the last thing of subclass now. We'll see it now and we'll finish off subclass data type. Understood? The last thing of subclass, which is that? Can you guess that? Any guesses? No? Okay, see. In subclass now, if you shortlist, let's shortlist what all we have covered in subclass data type. In subclass data type, what all we have covered? First thing we have covered, defining or deriving. Defining or deriving a subclass. You know how to do it now? Means, why you write a subclass? Why you write a subclass? Adding extra members, properties or for changing functionality, all that you know. Okay. That's why you write a subclass. How do you write it? By using the keyword extends. Understood? After you do that, now extra members you can go on adding. Variables, constructor, methods, all that. So you understood this point now? Defining or deriving. Why you define, you know. How you define, you know. Why you define, you understood now? Add functionality to do inheritance. I'll give you a few points about which one? Subclass. Why do you use a subclass? I'll give you a few points. That is the reason you do it. How do you do it? By using extends keyword. Understood? Then next, this is done. Now second point, using a subclass data type. So when you want to use a subclass data type, let's see what all we have covered till now. We'll shortlist. One is assigning subclass object reference to which one? Subclass variable type. Same type to subclass variable type, reference variable type. This you know, you are assigning the subclass of reference. Assign the reference of subclass object to subclass reference variable type, same type. Here same type. First we saw box BW is, example is box weight BW is equal to new box weight. So this is first what we learnt. After learning this, which are deriving and all that, we learned this step. Then what did we learn? Assign the reference of subclass object to what? Superclass reference variable. Yes or no? This is what you learnt. Yes or no? Using. Again it's about what? Using only. We are learning how to use a subclass data type. Example for this is box B is equal to new box weight. Then third what you learnt? Casting. Casting superclass variable to subclass type. Yes or no? Why you do this? Simple reason. To access subclass members. To access subclass members you will be doing this. Fourth step. While casting we saw how to use. While casting we learnt is using instance of operator. Correct, huh? While casting use this. Last thing, can you predict what I have to show you? Sending subclass data type as arguments. Yes or no? Very crucial, no? Any data type can be sent as what? Argument. Any data type can be, you have seen how I sent which one? Int as argument, float as argument, double as argument. Then we saw how to send the class as argument. Class. Yes or no? I was sending object box as an argument. Understood? Now I'll send subclass as an argument. So that is final thing now. If you do this much, subclass data type is over. These many things you have to learn in subclass. So when you write a subclass, see subclass everybody knows. But all these points you should know. But very few of you know all this. Very few. Hardly you only know only one thing here. Among all this you know only one thing. What is that? Class B extends A. Apart from that you don't know anything. Understanding? No. That is the problem. So I have to cover all this. Then only you have understood the language. So the last thing what you have to learn is using subclass data type as what? Argument and parameter. Means how will you send the argument and how will you declare your parameter? As argument and parameter. Then one more you have to learn. Return type. Return type, you can return what? When you can send and return which one? Argument, definitely you can return what? Subclass. Very common. So you understand how return type is becoming very important now. Return type means a return keyword is so important in programming. You'll start understanding how important it becomes. Because the methods will be returning. That's why when you look at a method, look at its return type. Right now you are seeing only what? Int, float and all. But now your return type will be user defined types. Your return type can also be user defined types. Are you clear with all these points? So what is the point I have to cover now? The fifth point. Are you clear with this one major point? Then in second point, using these are the sub points. In the first main point nothing, you know, very simple. Then in second main point, means in first main point you have to understand what? How to add variables. Okay, sorry, I think I didn't write it, but you understand. Here you have to understand how to write variables, how to write constructor, how to write blocks, how to write methods. That you have to understand. I mean, how to write a subclass extends. That is the key here. After you do that, next using these 5 points will come. So subclass data type is very big. Listen, here I didn't write, sorry, but here what all you have to learn? How do you do it? Means by using extends keyword. Then you have to learn what? Adding variables. Correct or not? Then you have to learn adding blocks. Then you have to learn adding constructor. Means with their parameter, all that you should know. Then you have to know how to write methods. So these many things you should know in defining or deriving a class. So these many things we have covered all these days now. That is why subclass takes time to understand. Generally you will think why inheritance is taking so long. But if you know this much things only, then only you know inheritance actually. Yeah? Should I clear all this? I'll move to the last one now. So with this, almost all today, your subclass ends. Understood? Subclass will finish off now. Yeah? Subclass data type. Should I clear? So that's now what I have to show is how to pass subclass data type as argument. Return type I'll come later. First I'll go with arguments and parameters. But before I pass arguments and which one? Parameters, we will revise some of the previous topics. Passing what? Primitives. Passing what? Class. And after you understand those two, use which one? Subclass. Damn easy. You get those basics right, it's very simple. Okay. But before that, one more I'll show you. Before I show you how to pass that, 1 second. Class demo, PSVM. See, first you understand local. First you understand always local, how it works. Local means you want, why do you pass them as arguments and parameters? Very simple. You want to give the value from one scope to another scope. Very simple. First learn in local scope. If you are comfortable in local scope, giving the value to another scope is not big thing, because same value will be given to what? The variable which is there in a parameter. It's not a big thing. Understood? So first see, box weight BW is equal to new box weight of 1, 2, 3, 4. I have created which object? Box weight object. Once I create the box weight object, look at this now. Box weight BW1 is equal to null. This one variable. Box B is equal to null. Yes, see this. So there are totally 3 variables, but only one object is there. Which one? Box weight. W, H, D. Volume method you might have. M1 method you might have. M2 you might have. Sorry, one variable you might have called as M. That is a weight. Okay. And you might have an M2 method now. Constructors I am not writing. Just leave it. I am only working with members which we can access. So you know how the box weight object gets created. Address is 250 or 150, leave it, whatever the address. But now, the address of this object, I want to give to other 2 variables. Possible. First understand locally. End of the day, what is my requirement? I want to give the value of BW to another variable in the same scope. Now, if you want to give the value of the variable to another variable, scope later, what are the rules? They should be of same type. First rule is that now. First basic rule is what? The variable should be of same type. So can I write BW1 is equal to 5? Can I give a numerical value to this? Not possible. They should be same type. Value and variable should be compatible. When the value and variable are compatible, then only you can give the value to a variable. Can I write BW is equal to 5.5? Double value? No. Can I write BW1 is equal to true? No. Boolean value also I cannot give. Yes, for BW1 I can give one type of value which is BW. That is correct. So BW1 also will refer to the same object. So understand locally how it works. If at all you want to give the value of one variable to another variable, okay, now we will come to scope now. If at all you want to give the value of one variable to another variable, okay, now the only scenario will be either in same scope or different scope. But first rule is what? They should be compatible. They should be compatible. That's the first rule. This is also correct. I can give the address of this object to same type of variable, or I can give it to superclass type of variable. But for these two, I cannot write B is equal to, now see this, test T is equal to new test, another different class. Can I write B is equal to T? Not possible. This is wrong, but this is correct. Understood locally? Same scope you understand first. And you print the addresses. What you'll print after doing this? SOP B, BW1, BW, all will have the same address. You can check it out. First understand locally. Then call by value, call by reference, argument, parameter, they are very easy. So what is the hint you are getting now? When you are going to pass the subclass as an argument, your parameter can be what? Either same type or it can be superclass type. Getting it now? Almost all getting the idea now. Okay. When you are going to send the subclass as an argument now, your argument, parameter means in the method signature. Understood? One who receives is what? What you send is an argument. One who receives is the parameter. Now your parameter can be either superclass variable type or subclass variable type. That's it. You got it now. So only I have to do it and show now. That's the concept I have to show you now. But basics are clear. That becomes very clear now. So you got the idea now. But to just revise, I'll show you how you send primitives, class, and then I'll move to what? Subclass. Understood? So you write many methods now. Okay. So till now I have continuously taught you what? From past 30-40 days I am teaching you only how to write methods. Did you observe? Check out. Name of the method, return type, parameters, overloading, overriding. I'm teaching you only how to write methods. So reason is you don't know how to write functions in C also. The same topic I am covering here now. Plenty of methods I have shown you how to write. Check out. Once you know how to design it, there are 4 parts in a method. Return type, name, parameter, and body. So I have covered this now. I am covering, still not over. Name, parameter list. Next I have to teach you body. Still one topic is pending. There are 4 parts in a method. Continuously I am teaching you that. Once you know that properly, then you can write logics. You are in a hurry to write logics now. First understand what a method is. How you write the name, how you write the return type. Name also is very crucial. Same name, different name. Correct now? Overloading, overriding, parameter list, return type, all is very crucial. Then will come body. After that inside logic will come. So these many things you have to understand to write a function. And in colleges your function was very simple. What? Int a, b, c, d, e, f, g, h. That's it. Understood? So means int a is equal to 1, b is equal to 2. That's what you are programming. But here we are moving to very high level of programming. Clear? So I start sending now arguments and parameters. So this is very, very, very crucial. Remember this. Passing user defined data type as arguments is the most important subject of programming. That's why I'm stressing so much on this. Okay, practice a lot on this because we are working with our types. Later on we start working with libraries. You will be creating their own object and that object will be sent as what? Argument to some of their method. This is how programming will on now later. You will be working with built-in classes. We have to work with libraries. To work with libraries you have to be very clear with all this now. Yeah? So I'll show you first primitives. Okay, first I'll show a simple method now. Void m1. No parameter, no return type. You know, no? No parameter, no return type. Simple, I'm just revising it. Void m2. Int a. So you write any logic here. But compulsory to argument should be what? Means when you create an object now, hello h is equal to new hello. To call m1, don't send argument. To call m2, send argument of type int. Or lesser than int also. Byte also I can send, short also I can send. You know that now? Check out. Anything equal or lesser. It is true with primitives also. Same thing will happen with what? User defined type. If I make my parameter as box B, equal or lesser. Means I can send box weight also, shipment also. Same thing will happen. So that's why I'm stressing more on primitives. Primitives you are very comfortable. You understood why I took primitives to that extent. Why did I take it to that extent? That time you are worrying, all these are simple. Okay, but they are becoming so crucial now. Understood? Are you clear with this? Int a means, see this. Now I'll create the object. See hello, h is equal to new hello. But to create call the methods, you have to create the object now. Fine, now see this. Hello object is created. What are the members? M1, leave that. M2, int a. Now to call m2, what I have to pass? Compulsory int argument. So I'll write int p is equal to 1 or 2, you can take anything. H dot m1, okay. H dot m2, I can send p as an argument. The value of p, 2, is given to which one now? A. But what is the type of value? Primitive value. So to store primitive value, I have declared primitive variable of the same type. Only difference is instead of giving the value in the same scope, understood now? If it was in same scope, how would I have given the value? If I want to give the value to p to another variable, it should be compulsory of type what? Int only. First understand in local scope. If I want to give the value of p to another variable, I have to use what? Int only. Same thing is happening now, only I am using what? It's in different scope. But this is called by value. Understood now? Now for m2, check this out. Byte b is equal to 3. H dot m2, I can send b also now. Equal or lesser. H dot m3, means I can write short s is equal to 4. H dot m2, I can send even s. Check out. But I cannot send double. Equal or lesser I can send. H dot, okay. One more you can write. Double d is equal to 5.5. No, incompatible. Means only if it is compatible you can give there. Otherwise how will you give? First check locally whether it's compatible or not. Then you send. Are you clear? Okay. But so see now, no, I don't want byte to be going there. I want byte. That time what you do? I don't want byte to be accepted here, means you have to write explicitly one more method. Byte A, overload. Now you send byte. Byte only will execute. But you send short, int will get executed. So that auto promotion rules you know, no? All this is clear. Understood how you work with primitives? Go back and refer to primitives. This is the last time I will be showing you how to send arguments now. Because after that, sending subclass argument becomes easy. That's it. Understood? So this is how it works. So are you clear with this? And I want just only one method. Fine. Which one? I can have double. So what happens with double? All numeric data types can be sent as argument now. Byte, short, float, int. That is one thing now. But you have to be careful in writing your logic now. Understood? You have to be careful in writing logic. Means example, why I am telling you should be careful in writing logic means double A, double D means, sorry, double B means, here while using now, you should be careful not to use int for processing. Int A is equal to, or int Z is equal to A plus B. You should be careful now. Because you might send int only, but they are coming to you as what? Double. You will be sending int only. See this, h dot m2 to int I will send. Int p, int q. P comma q I will send. But they are coming as what? Double. By the time you receive them, you are receiving in the double data type. You know, conversion or implicit casting. The int value gets converted to double value. If you want to understand that, locally you try. Double d is equal to p. What happens? The same value is given to. Are you clear with all this? Revise this topic. So now, if you want, you can have a return type also. Okay, just I'll show you. This one is over now m2. Int m3. You can have one no parameter, but still you can have return type. You know this also, how to write. Same way I can have double. You can write logics like this. We have written plenty of methods earlier. You know how to work with primitives. Clear? Any question with primitives? More you can refer to primitive examples. First, to understand this, you have to understand what? Primitive data types. Again, to understand this, you have to study primitive data types properly. Then you will understand all this. Clear with all this? And now I'll move to which one? Class and objects. Okay. So we'll come to user defined data type now. So in class hello, now I'll have one m1 method. Very interesting method. See, assuming that there's one class called as test. It is having int xy. It might have one constructor. It might have one m1 method. All this is okay. But now I want to have class M1, it should accept an argument of type test. You know how to work now, return type is void. Can you do this? What will you do? You have to send a reference value of type, means the value you give to that method should be of type a test itself. Only then it will work, otherwise no. So how will you do it now? Yeah, you have to create an object of first which one? Hello you create, no problem. Then you have to create object of which one? Test. Can I call h.m1 method without any value? No, this is wrong. Can I call h.m1 by passing an int value? Primitive value cannot be given to. So you will have one fun method here rather, or is it become confusing? Primitive value cannot be given to reference variable. It should be compatible. If you want to understand, again understand test t is equal to, can I give primitive value? So it's not possible there also. It's fine. So when you do this, what happens? Definitely if you want, you can call it by saying what? Test t is equal to new test create, means this is send reference value. But to send reference value, you need a reference value, no? Now how will you get a reference value? Generate it. You create an object, store it into a variable, now valid, h.m1 t. Simple. If you want it in a diagrammatical way of explanation, see an hello object has got created. There is m1 method, hello, sorry, test t now, or test z. Yes, so what happens now? Which object also got created? You know the test object getting created. What are the members of test? First I created hello object which address is 150, 250. Now when the test object got created, it is having x, it is having y, test, xy. In short I am writing fun method is there. So after creating the test object, I am giving what? Value. What is the value I am giving? Reference. So that is given to which one now? h.m1. Now z also will refer to the same object. So when you send primitives, it is called by value. When you send user defined data, it is called by reference. We have seen this also. Clear this? I give you plenty of examples on this. Okay. Are you clear with all this? Okay. Next thing. Okay. I can have something like this also. M2 int a. Now how? After accepting you do anything. I can say z dot x. I can work. That is secondary. Okay. Now I'll say this int a int b. Now return type is test. Valid now? So what will I do here? Write any logic. But finally you should say what? Test t is equal to new test, and your return type should be what? New test of anything you send, 10, 20, or you put a and b only and send. That is your wish. How you use it? Return t I have to return. So now if I call, see now one more method is there now. Which one? M2 method. A, B. Return type of this is test. So if I call h.m2, return type is what? Test t2. Correct now? Test t2 is equal to new test. Sorry. h dot m2 of 5 and 6 or any value you send. That's your wish. You will call h dot m2 now. So it will create what object? Test t is equal to new test 5 6, then it will do what? Return t. So an object of here, when this code is getting executed, one object gets created, xy will have what values? 5 6, address might be 350. Return t means t2 it will give, and t2 will refer to the same object. This t2 what you are having now will refer to the same object. So this is purely call by reference. You can send a class as an argument, you can return a class as an argument. All this comfortable now? Any questions here? I have revised how to send arguments and parameters. Do not forget this. This is the crucial point of programming here. Done now? Class primitives. Now we have to learn what? How to send subclass as argument. So I have shown you sending class as an argument, having class as a return type, both. Clear? I'll move to subclass now. Any questions here? Fine. I've given you plenty of examples on this. Plenty I've given. Arrays also I showed you. Okay, now we'll go to subclass. See here, I've got a subclass object here. I'm creating a new box weight object with some values. Box weight BW is equal to new box weight. This I want to send as argument. So I'll write a method now, as simple as this. So when you're going to write a method, your parameter should be obviously of type what now? Box weight. Same story now. What big story? What is the big story here? Call by reference now. Understood. So what will you do now? First you will create an object of hello. Hello h is equal to new hello h dot m1 and you will send bw. Over now. Print the address, sir. Here also you print the address, there also you will print the address. It's as good as telling what? Box weight bw1 is equal to bw. Correct now? There you are giving in same scope, here you are giving in different scope. You want to show me diagrammatically? Yes, I'll show you. See, this is hello object which is getting created. M1 method is there, return type is void, box weight is the parameter. Yes, here how you use SOP, box weight Z. SOP, I can access all the members, Z.W, Z.H. Means once you get the object, you can use it. Z.W, Z.volume. If you are having the method Z.M1, yeah, if you are having the method Z.M2, and you can also print SOP Z.M. You know how to write the class box weight now. For this program, write it. For this program, you have to write what? Class box and box weight. So now see, when I create this object, box weight BW is equal to new box weight object. Means write the same code here, man, in M1. How you use it is your wish. Understood? But you can write SOP Z.W, Z.H, whatever I have written there, you can write the same story here. That is using it. Understood? So now see, first I will create the object. When I create the box weight object, you know the story of box weight object now. W, H, D, you will have the constructors W, H, D. I'm roughly writing it now. The members to show you. Other member is volume. One more member might be M1. In the subclass, you'll have this one. Again, you might have subclass constructor W, H, D, M, super. All this story you know. Then you might have void M2. All this story you know now. So which object got created? BW. So what is the address of this? We have created an H object. First we created box weight object now. Okay, 150. Any address, just type in. Then I will create object of which one? Hello. So this address is 250. Then I am calling h.m1, giving BW. Leave this. What is the value of BW? 150. Address. Same value is given to what? Z. Fine. Z will refer to this object. What big thing? Call by reference now. If you know how to pass a class as an argument, same story will come up to what? Subclass. Nothing big here. And once you have the reference to that object, you can work with all the members. Because your variable is of type box weight, you can access all the members. All members you can access. Understood? Clear this? So when you are sending a subclass as an argument, the parameter can be of same type. Clear? Any questions here? Now return type. I'll come back to return type now. Let's have an M2 method. No parameters. It's up to you whether you want or not. What type also you decide. But return type is compulsory what? Box weight. So I can return a subclass as an argument also. Valid. Like how you can send a class as an argument and same way you can send subclass also as argument and return type. So what is the code you will write here? Your wish. Write 1000 lines of code here. New box weight. I don't have space, I'm writing small, 5, 6, 7, 8. Write 1000 lines of code. That it will not say. Okay. Finally you should return what? A reference value of type box weight. That's it. Write any lines of code. Nobody is caring there. Finally you should return reference value now. So now you are going M2 method now. One more method has come now. And the return type is what now? box weight. See here what happens, you will write the code here now. Box weight BW is equal to new box weight of 5, 6, 7, 8. Do anything. See now when I call, see this, when I call h dot m2 method now, it should accept BW1 is equal to h dot m2. Correct now? Code is correct? Are you understanding the code now? See here I am calling m2 method, but return type is what? User defined type, box weight type, subclass type. Yes. After doing this, what can I do? I can call members. BW means what? First let's see what happens. h dot m2. So method gets executed. An object of type what gets created? Box weight. Roughly I'll write the members. I can't write all now. There is no space. Volume m2 method. So which object got created? Box weight. This variable is referring to this object. Address might be something like 1000. Returns that will be given to each one. BW1. So BW1 also will refer to the same object. Check out the address. And now, what is the advantage of it? You can work with that now. BW1.w, BW1, you print BW1.h, put SOP, BW1.d, BW1.m, BW1.volume, BW1.m1. All members you can access. BW1.m2. Whatever members you got, all you can access. But what is the concept you understood? How to send subclass as argument and how to have it as return type. Okay. Finally, are you clear with these two things now? Now one small change I will do. That's it. Only one change what we will do is, see we are sending subclass argument now, but you can have your parameters what? Superclass type. One level I will change. That's it now. Everything is perfect. Same it will work. But my parameter will be of type what? Superclass type. Understood? Now your question here, it will start, you will start getting the answer. Okay, just see this now. So my variable is of type what now? Valid code. 100% valid code. But problem is what? Z is referring to this object. I cannot access which member? So what you do, access subclass members, what will you do now? Casting. So this is the place where you start casting superclass variables to subclass type. Understood? Now casting becomes intense. Casting will become, I am practically applying now casting. Till now you are seeing only in one place. But now I start applying it very practically. Full grip you will get now. Programming grip. Clear this? So this is the problem. Z can refer to that, but problem is it cannot access the subclass members. So z.w, z.h, z.d you cannot access, sorry, you can access only these. Volume you can access, sorry. M1 okay you can access. But M2 and these two you cannot access because your variable is of type superclass. Are you clear with this? Okay. Next. Yeah. We'll first check with arguments and parameter. Then we'll come to make our return type as superclass next. This also I have to cover. So first I'll show you with what? Parameters I'll show you. Then I'll come to making return type as superclass type. That is next. First I showed you with same type. Now I'm going to superclass type. Here only we have to study some more examples. Once I complete this, then I'll come to the return type. Clear? Okay. So now let's come to this now. So this program is clear for you. So here, what you have to do is you can typecast. How you typecast now to access? Z you will typecast it to. And if at all you want to work with subclass members, option is there. Provided after casting. But you are doing blind casting there. So now I'll start applying instance of operator. I'll show you how it will be applied now. Understood? Because are you clear with this example now? This example clear?
So we are in main class also variable in BW. In this method also we are returning BW.
Clear with this, huh? Change one. That much you don't know, no? Change the variable names. While writing, I'll write BW here and there. What is there? How far I can go on remembering the variable names? Am I compiler? Huh? These silly doubts you should know now, no? There also I'm having same variable name. Here also I'm having same variable names. What is the question now?
No, sir. Returning same variable, no?
Scope description.
Okay, now let's say one hierarchy. You know I had written A, B, C, D classes. In that A, B, C, D classes, how are they related? Hierarchical. You know, here the method is M1, here the method is M2. You know these classes now? M3, and here I am having the method called as M4. Class B extends A, adds one method called as M2. Class C extends A, adds one method called as M3. Class D extends A, adds one method called as M4. Okay. Now, scenario is, I want to send all these three data types as argument. I'll write my class now. Just start seeing now. I want to send all these three data types as argument now. Which one? P, C, D. So if I want to send these three data types as argument, so they are all subclasses. Yes or no? First observe that. B, C, D are what? Subclasses. And you know how to send subclasses as an argument now. Check out now. Void. Okay, I think, yeah. So I can write some methods here. F1. Parameter will be of what? BB. Okay. And here I'll typecast. What I'll typecast? I'll typecast, sorry, we'll go with, yeah, B. No need of typecasting here. When you are accepting is of same type, B dot M1 also you can call, B dot M2 also you can call. Void F2. C dot M1 I'll call, C dot M3 I'll call. Void F4. F3 means function 1, function 2, function 3. D dot M1, D dot M4. So this is the class you are writing. So we are writing how many functions now? End of the day you want to send all the subclasses as argument. For sending all the subclasses as argument you are writing how many methods? 3. But now let's see. I can solve it with only one method. You tell now which is a good way of writing logic. I'll have one method called as void fun, and I'll have my parameter as what? Type A. Finished. For this fun I can send what? B object, C object, D object, any object I want I can send. But you should be careful into casting now. You cannot cast blindly. Okay, here see this. First I'll show you this. B of A. Valid code. Why? What is that I want to do? Why did I do casting? To access the subclass members. But problem is class demo PSVM. So what happens here? Hello H is equal to new hello. They'll create the object. Take the first case. Okay. Just I want to send subclass as argument. I'm remembering how many methods? 3 method names. Or you want you can overload. Here you can overload. F1 only you can have, but you're writing 3 methods. Or you can go for different names like this. Understood? You can go for different names. But you have to remember now 3 names. To send B argument, what name you have to remember? F1. See, I want to send the B object. H dot M1 B means sorry F1. Take the first case. This case you take now. Take the first case. Understood? Hello H is equal to box BB is equal to H dot F1. Object of hello is created. Which argument is sent now? B. But if I want to send C object, what will I do? Simple. There is no problem. In the first case, there is no problem for you at all. H dot F2 C. DD is equal to new D. You want to send D object, then you call which method? But you have to remember so many method names, or you have to write so many method names. Method names you can reduce. How will you reduce? Overload. Understood? All F1 you write. But you have to write so many methods. No, that's an headache. Instead of having so many methods, option is I can do this. And here I can send any argument. In the second case, see now, hello H is equal to new hello. Now you create any object. BB is equal to new B. CC is equal to new C. dd is equal to new d. This is case number 1. This is case number 2. This is case number 1. This is case number 2. Understood? So now see, I can send now, but here I can send any argument. If I pass h dot fun, be 100% that code will work, no doubt about it. Why you are sending the subclass, you are accepting it in superclass, I am typecasting, everything is perfect here. But just if I send C object, you'll start getting what? Class cast exception. So you start facing problems. And why did you keep your parameter so big, open? Because you want to access, means you want to accept all the subclasses in the hierarchy. Understood? 3 classes, okay, we will be having 10, 20, 100 classes. When you want to access so many classes as argument, now having so many method names is ruled out. I can write one method and one method only can accept what? All. But in primitives I told you, if you have int, you can accept int and all lesser type now. Same way here, if you have one higher type, you can access what? You can accept here all lesser type also. Subclass are less. So if you have one of superclass, you can accept all subclass types. Great. So you decide how you write your parameters. Writing a parameter is an art. People actually neglect what? Methods. Now you see how important they are becoming. Your entire logic will be in methods only. So when you want to write methods, you should know how to keep your parameters. Whether you'll keep as subclass type, whether you'll keep as superclass type, what return type you'll be having. These are very crucial things. One logic will come next. Logic anybody can write, but how you send arguments and means how you use your data types, because you write thousands of classes, and finally how will you use them? Understood? So this is how it goes on. Are you clear? So then fine. So that is why here, instead of doing like this, we start using instance of operator. If A instance of B, do this, else if, same logic what you wrote in main function, write it in fun function or method. That's it. There it was local scope, here it is in different scope. So if else if what? A instance of C. I'll clear this. You know this hierarchy now? This I'll clear now. Else if A instance of C. Now you'll typecast A to C, and you can call C dot M1, C dot M3. Else if A instance of D, typecast DD to D of A, D dot M1, D dot M4. Last else you can write SOP, A is not referring to any object. Correct now? If you send null, you are very clever. You want to define, means I have written some logic. You want to define this, what will you do? You will send null here. You can send null value also now. No problem. If you send null also, what happens? You can hardcode and send like this itself. Or you write box B is equal to null. Sorry, what is that? BB is equal to null you tell and send B what? Here. Which one will get executed? Else. Okay. But if you send, okay, else will get executed. You send C, C condition gets executed. You send D, D condition gets, simple as this. So that's why instance of operator becomes very important when you send it as arguments. Very crucial, this instance of operator. Before you cast, check and cast, otherwise you will end up in wrong output. This is the last thing about subclass data type. Subclass data type is over. You should know how to send them as arguments and return type. So I have covered parameter, still I have not covered what? Having superclass as return type. We'll come to that. First I'll type, if you have any doubts here, I'll type and show you this. Then I'll come to what? First if I comfortable this, then I can make my, sorry here, where? Yeah, I can make my return type as, not in this. Yeah, I can make my return type as superclass type. If you, sometimes you want to return, so you can make it as superclass type. I'll show you that next because it will become confusing. Are you understanding now? So you understood how to send subclass as argument. What is the advantage? If you have superclass as the parameter, it is wide and it can accept all the lesser data types, but all in the same hierarchy. For this fun method, I cannot send test object. Test and A are not compatible. Now test T is equal to new test. Supposingly I have test T. In the case 2 I am talking all. Test T is equal to new test. There are two cases here. H dot fun. Can A accept T? It should be related. Yeah, only if they are related. Then superclass variable can refer to subclass object, but not different variable cannot refer to different. All the basics only we are using now. And you have seen all this in local scope. Only you are seeing it in different scope. All this I have explained to you in what? Local scope. In one method, main. Test T is equal to new test. LH is equal to T. Wrong. I had explained you all this. Local I have explained you. Only I am showing you, means we are assigning the value in local scope. Now we are assigning the value in different scope. There is nothing difficult here. Clear this? Shall I clear all this? So keep one thing pending, which one? Having return type as superclass type. Having return as superclass type. Because once you understand how to have this as parameter, you can write even any subclass, means return type will be easy for you. Okay, I had given you some programs now. Which program you want? First I'll show you with which one, same type. See, primitives you know, class you know, that I'll not show now. Okay, I am working with subclass. You want me to send box weight and show as an argument? Box weight argument, box weight parameter, and box weight return type you will see, means same type. After that we will come with superclass. Should I clear everything? Should I clear? So for this program you have to write too many classes. Understood? You don't have to write, you can copy paste. You have got previous programs now. Box weight, just copy paste it. Otherwise coding it becomes very difficult. Just one extra class what you will be writing is hello class. That's it. And there you can accept all that. Clear? Otherwise you sit writing, that's why I told you organize so that you can access your files very easily. We will need this program. Inheritance. Where is our class box weight? I did not write box and box weight, huh? I used this. This is a headache. You should know where you have saved it. In spite of, I think I did not write box weight only. No, I did not write, because I showed you with super with these things. And you only told no, don't write, sir. Okay, I'll just modify this. It will become a very big program, this one. Subclass argument demo, argument and return type demo. You don't think for this program you create a separate folder only, it would be much advisable. 30 subclass argument and create one separate folder only, it will be helpful for you later. This program will be needed too many times. So class box I could have copied class box actually. I'll use only one constructor, man. Inside M1, simply a method I'll have. Can I have one volume method? Done, no? So, braces, okay. So, box is there. Now, this dot W, assigning value, no? This dot W is equal to W. H D, okay, everything correct now? Okay, so now we have to write what? Box weight. So I could have copied actually, fine. Class box Yeah, so now I have to write the hello class, which will accept that as argument. So what is the parameter of type? Box weight set, no return type, and I can access all the members. First we check with the address will be same. Clear? I give you any name, M1 I'll write, or what name, okay, the method name, this is not, okay, I'll take one, see here, if I have one method name M1, I'm having this in box, I'm having the same method name in what? Hello also. Is this overriding or overloading? Huh? It is not overloading, it's not overriding. They are unrelated classes. Understood? This M1 is different, that M1 is different. So you can have the same method name in different classes like this, but you don't get confused. Okay, only when they are related, then you have to check whether it is overridden or overloaded. Now hello is not related with what? Box. So this is not a what? Or if not, I'll change the function name there. Are you following now? But you should get adjusted to this now. I'll write fun method here and I'll write one test or some other method here like meth. Any method you write. Understood? Very clear? But they can have, this is not overriding or overloading also. Fine. So now I can print the values. I can access all the member sales here. Value of W in ZS plus Z dot W. Z dot H. Value of H in ZS. D in ZS. M in ZS. So Z dot D, Z dot M, all valid. And also I can call methods. Which one? Z dot fun also, Z dot meth also. Yes? I change the method names, fun and meth. Okay, so then all this is valid. Now say this. Box weight yeah, so if you want you can print the same thing here, all things you can access. No change, value of only BW change, everything is same, only we sent it as a you are just giving the reference value to another scope, nothing else you are doing. Clear? As simple as this, nothing big thing here. See this, perfectly compiles. Okay, I have not called the method, still which one? In this one, BW it is executing. I have to create the object. H dot M1, yes, perfectly valid code, that's it. Understood? This is how you send a subclass as an, I first learn how to send it as an argument. Understood? First learn how to send it as an argument. So the address is same, can you see that? Value of Z is, see up till here it was output of which one? Main. Up till here it is output of main. Understood? But after that, okay, I didn't change the output. I wrote inside M1, M2 only, but understand inside fun, inside math. Rest all is, this names have to change. What I didn't change it in which one? I only changed the name of the method. Inside fun I have to do, and I have to say inside box weight meth. And that's it. See this. This is the execution of M1 method. Understood how to send subclasses argument? Just to show you here itself, just see, I can make it as what? Type box. Just here I am showing you. I will still go with more deeper. But what is the problem here? I cannot access subclass member. Cannot find symbol. Which are the errors it's giving you? Meth and M. So if I comment that M and this one, it will work. Perfect. But I can have my parameters what? Superclass type. And why you will have parameter as superclass type? When you want to accept many subclasses arguments. So it's up to you. See, sometimes you want decoupling, sometimes you want tight coupling. If you want tight coupling, sometimes you make it as what? Do not think always you will have superclass. Sometimes you don't want any other class to enter there. You don't want any other class. Like I want object of B only. Like I wrote now ABCD instance of operator. Understood? Don't think always you will do that. Okay. One option is this style. Another option is case 1, case 2 I wrote. Both are correct. Don't think always case 1 is good, case 2 is good. Sometimes you want only object of B, then write parameter as BB. You want object of only C, write parameter as CC. Means that is the thing now. Whether you will make a parameter as superclass type or subclass type, that is the discretion you have to take. It's under you. Understood? But we can work like this. This is one problem. If you accept it as parameter, if you have your parameter as which one? Superclass type, that is the problem. So yeah, you are getting questions now. When I will make superclass, when I will make subclass. Those doubts also will be shortly answered. I will show you more programs. Programs only will be the answer for all that. Understood? But both are valid. Don't think instance of only is good. Sometimes I told you, na, I want object of type B only. I want object of type C only. There is no other option for you. A method parameter should be of type B only. Clear? Okay. Here any questions? Returning you want to see? Returning is simple, no? You want me to show that also? Huh? What, man? Ella torsu. What will you do? Code first. Otherwise you'll ask questions like him. Variable. This is M2 method. Do whatever you want here. Finally what you should do? See here. Box weight. Z is equal to new done now. But what should be the return type? There are how many values here? 5 values. 1 reference value, 4 primitive values. Z.W I can return, Z.H I can return, Z.D I can return, or I can return Z. Understood? 5 values, 4 primitives, 1 reference. So it is your discretion what you want to return. Okay, if I return Z.W, int. Understood? So what is the advantage of sending user defined data type as argument? You know, multiple values. That advantage you don't forget. What is the use of sending user defined data type as argument? Means multiple values you can send and multiple values you can return. That is the crucial reason why we send the user defined data type as arguments. So now we can comment all this. Or 1 second, I'll not call that method. Directly I'll say what? See this now. I'll modify it here only. Box height BW is equal to what? Null. I'm working with return type now. Then I'll call what? H dot M2. Correct, huh? And I will initialize that value to valid now. Yes or no? That's it. Small changes. Understood? Yes. But sometimes here, your return type is box weight. Here, can I accept it of type box? Yes, no. Accepting. Perfect. It's your wish. How you accept your wish. It is returning box weight, but I accept it as box. All this R&D you do now. There are plenty of things you can do. Perfect. You can accept it, but you have to typecast. You cannot access what? Subclass member. And it compiled. Why you might ask? Because I am accessing here BW, not B.W. Understood now? Here I am accessing what? Now you tell BW, it will give me compilation here. M and H, M and what is it? Fun and math, whatever. Understood? You can accept it as superclass like this. Okay. So this return type I'll show you. You're returning Z. I can make my return type as what? See this here only I'll show. Box. I can make my return type as box. Now what will be my return type now? Box weight. Yeah. Box weight. BW is equal to H dot M to what? Error. Error. Return type. Error. Because you are returning subclass type there. Here I am accepting as what? Superclass type. Sorry, there you are sending superclass, here accepting as subclass. Not possible. Now, possible. Now. 1 second. It is already defined. Where I have defined it? Okay, I have to comment this. I have to comment that. Okay. Now it compiles. And with BW, I can access what? Only. So here, see, object created is subclass type. Object created is subclass type, but you are making the return type as superclass. Now, why will you do this? You know. Sometimes here, A is equal to new B, A is equal to new C. Anything can happen, and they'll be returning what? A. They'll be doing this, not like this. They'll be writing the code here like this. See, this is also correct. That's why I try all this R&D. You'll understand. I'm just showing you. Box B is equal to new. Box weight also is valid. I just give you the concept, man. There are plenty of things you can do R&D here. Understood? This is also valid. Sorry. Return, sorry. Z I have to do. New also, okay. Then you are understanding then now. What is the problem? Okay, you cannot access M and so you are understanding all the code now. Good. Fun or myth? Valid. Understood now? That's it. Understood. So if you want, we can go with the other story now. Which one? If you want to learn instance of, now copy these classes. Understood that program now? Yes, now come to which one now? Which one? Class A, B, C. Copy paste this. And now here in hello you can have what? We'll have one method void M3. But I can have my parameter as AA. Not mandatory. You can have BB also. Sometimes you want to restrict. You don't want other subclass objects to come here. That time we'll make as B only. Sometimes we'll make C. That is, it depends. But if I want to accept all here, AA. But problem is in casting now. So that's why I have to use instance of. That's it. You know how to use instance of now? Bring back all the code. I written all this code. Okay. Getting it now? Same code. Understood? Then not. The program becomes very big, man. That's why it's better you only try. You cannot understand it in video also because get the concept here. Understood? Now where you'll scroll? I can scroll here, but it will be difficult for you. So comment all this. Now come to which one? I'll write AA. Argument and parameter can have same name now. This is argument now. Yes or no? H dot M3. I'll send which argument? A. This is argument. What is the parameter? A. They can be same, no issue. So then D is not defined. I'll remove D class. D is not written here. I'll remove the condition of D. And done. A is referring to B object. Okay, if I say new C, it will say referring to C object. That's it. So instance of is getting applied now. This is only beginning. We'll see more examples. Understood? And here similarly you can have return type as A. Why? Because which object you will be returning sometimes you will only not know. A is equal to new B also you can return. That's when you will be having the return type as superclass type. And finally I am concluding it. Understand, making your parameter as superclass type or subclass type is your discretion. Understood? Subclass type means it is tight coupling, and sometimes you will need like that. You do not want other classes to enter your method. Understood? Sometimes you can keep it as superclass because you want all the subclasses to enter your method. So you higher the class you keep, it's open. It can accept many classes. The lesser you keep, it can access only equal and lesser. See, equal and lesser you remember. Understood? It like same like int. Int means what? Byte short it will accept and int. So a superclass means it's level plus all the subclasses. So to what level you want to keep the method open, it's up to you. To what level you want to keep the parameters open is up to you. That's it. Clear with all this? So this completes subclass data type. Clear? You now finally have to send it as argument. I think in the next class we'll be seeing how to use final keyword. So just you can write this in the next class. I'll be explaining about this final keyword. Understood now? You write it and come, because if you write the notes before itself, it will be easy for the examples to follow. Yeah. So this I'll keep it open now. The final is a keyword now. One more keyword in Java. So we are covering all the keywords. Understood? We are covering all the keywords now. So this is one more keyword now. How many keywords we have covered? Plenty. You can go and check. Okay. So till now we covered extends. See, till now when you are learning subclass, what are the keywords we covered? Extends, super, instance of. This we studied in class. Here also, no problem. So these are the keywords you learned now. One more what you will be learning is final. And you know the difference between finalize and final now? What is the difference? A very important interview question. Difference between final, finalize and finally. One more is there. Definite interview question. No interview is complete without these three words. Final. Okay, I'll write it here. 1 second. See, final and finally both are keywords. Both are keywords. Finalize is method. First basic difference. These are keywords, these are methods. So I only explained you this method. These two we are opening up. Okay. So we'll be seeing this shortly. We'll start off. This is keyword. This is keyword. And finalize is a method present in class object. It's a method, predefined method given to you by Java, present in class object. Understood? So this is the actually you should understand. Anyway, we have not covered those two, but a definite interview question. Without these, your interview will not be completed. Yeah. So you can write these notes and next class with good examples we'll see all the meaning. See, so many points are there. For all points I have to give examples. Remember that. These are concepts. So we study so many examples and derive some statements here. Understood? We study so many examples and derive some statements here. Every statement needs one example. Almost all it will be like that. Okay. So these are few points. This point and which one? These points. These many points you have to write. Okay, that's it then. That's it.